Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I have some tulips coming up here. Used to have a large patch of tulips there and I moved them, and then I don't think they liked it and I probably didn't bury them deep enough. A lot of them didn't come up, but it's funny how the ones that you don't touch do better than the ones that you plan on. So when I dug them all up, I must have missed these, and they keep on coming up. And they come up better than the ones that I transplanted to a different location, if they come up at all. Then I have ones that come up and I don't even know how they got there. And I had 6 tulips that were just about to open up. And then this morning I'm looking at them, and they're over here. And this is what's left. Isn't that nice? And a squirrel was on the fence, and I think it was the squirrel that did it. Oddly enough, I seen this squirrel on the magnolia tree over there, and he was systematically taking off the flowers and tearing off the petals. So I don't know if he's got an attraction for the pollen, maybe. So I'm pretty sure that's the culprit. But it reminds me of a line from Everyone Loves Raymond, where the two brothers, Raymond and his brother, break a lamp, and the mother comes in and says, "This is why we can't have nice things." So I don't even know how these tulip bulbs got here, but they were doing great until this morning. Let's go take a look at the figs. I just brought the figs the other day. I brought them out from the shed. Luckily, the weather predictions were off a little bit. They were predicting some cooler temperatures than we ended up getting. They had spotted frost warnings in my area, but they were reporting or predicting down to 35. I think it got down to like 40. That was about it. So I got all the fig trees out, and I was looking at these. I have some buds starting to open up. There's one other one that's made more progress than the others, and they're just starting to really open up now with these warmer temperatures during the day, although it still gets pretty cool at night. And I didn't think I had any damage, but then I started taking a closer look, and I actually do have some buds that I got damaged, and I'm thinking it was because I left them, oddly enough, in the shed too long, where it was getting into like 70 degrees. And what the problem is that if the roots are still, at 32 or colder, there's no moisture being supplied to the tree, so that you have some dieback. And but that's not bad for. It was the lowest temperature was -9, and that was the day I put the oil-filled heater in the shed. So another thought I had was maybe, depending on how far away from the heater, it could have had some spot lower temperatures, depending on where the tree was in the shed. Some of them were piled up on top of others, so they were off the floor. I don't know. But I don't think I lost any completely. Another thought I had is, people don't realize, I've seen this, that if you can lose a fig tree, like the whole thing is dead. The roots are frozen. It's completely dead. But you can still have viable wood on the tree. But what happens is it'll eventually die back. And what I mean is that the tree is dead, but you still have green stems on the tree that if you remove quickly enough, you can use that to propagate another fig tree. And I've seen that. I've had some fig trees that I left out that I wasn't too concerned about. They were varieties, common varieties, and ended up being varieties that were not what they were sold as. I think it was like an LSU purple or something like that. I didn't think about that. I could have removed some of the wood and propagated some more tree before it just completely dried out. Another thing that I found, I think This is the only one. This is Col de Dame Noir, and it has, this distinction seems to be the color. The bark on this is a lighter or more of a brown color. It doesn't really gray up like other trees do. You can see, I don't know if you can see the difference there between this. And so this here had some dieback. The terminal buds here are just completely dead. And initially I thought, oh, I need to probably remove something to start some more cuttings before this whole thing's dead. But what you can do is you can just scrape with your fingernail. If you see green, you know, it's still alive. So for whatever reason, the Col de Dames seem to be a little bit less cold tolerant or less hardy. But there are variables. I don't know where this was positioned relative to the oil-filled heater, whether it was at the back of the shed. But yeah, I had some dieback here, so. But it seems to be, see, if you go way up at the top here and you look for green, so there's some green there, but you had a dead spot down here, it'll eventually completely, as the word, desiccate. It'll just completely dry up, and you'll not be able to propagate that. But if you were to remove that soon enough, you would be able to start some cuttings. But it looks like I just had some dieback from the ends here, and the rest of the tree is still alive. This is like, I think it's like a hardy Chicago. Didn't look like, looks like we've got a lot of dead terminal buds on this too, but this here, yeah, this is here, this is one of the, look how small this is compared to the date here. It's started April 2013. This is Acacia Black, and looks like the terminal buds have died, but that's still alive. This here, this is a Col de Dame Grise, and this is, it's just starting to really break open here. But overall, yeah, it looks like I have, yeah, this tree here, this is Ronde de Bordeaux. And looks like all my terminal buds are dead. So I just had a thought. I wonder if maybe the height too of the tree, because it would be warmer. I should have just completely taken off the tarp and left it open. As long as it was protected from the wind chill, that might have been better, because with the tarp on there and the morning sun, it was still getting warm in there. So unless I have to put some ventilation on that shed up in the up at the top roof line there. But I don't think, let's see, this is still green here. Yeah, that's still green. So for some reason I lost the terminal buds on the Ronda. And oddly enough, hardy Chicago. So I'm thinking, yeah, it had to do with it warming up too fast in the shed, even though I was getting protection from the, it was still, you know, freezing nighttime temperatures. So a lesson learned there, you have to watch out how quickly you warm these up. If they're still dormant, you'll just have dieback. Now this is kind of a tall one here. I think this might be like a hardy Chicago or Marseille Black. And it has buds opening up. And this is what I've been calling Ree, and terminal buds dead too. So it's just yeah, I got a lot of terminal buds now that I'm looking here. There's a Maltese Falcon. None of the terminal buds made it. Maybe one here. That's odd. So I did have some damage, but hey, minus 9 degrees. As long as you protect it from wind chill, they're hardier than we give them credit for. Another big mistake I made. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I had the idea that I eventually was going to bring them in, but we had relatively very little snow cover for wind chill, protecting from wind chill, and I left all the grapevines that I had started out, and I don't think any of those survived. And it could be this variety. It might not do good in New England anyways. It might be too cold here, Black Hamburg. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I see some buds. So, wow, and look how thin that cutting is. That is bizarre. Something this thick here did not survive. I don't think I have one from each ascension here. Looks like that might be the only one. That's weird. Yeah, that looks like it's alive. So I'll just leave those there and see what happens, but I'm pretty sure these here are dead. And I was kicking myself because this is like the third one. This is Reliance. That's supposed to be a real nice grape. And I bought one from Burpee, and it took forever. I think they were out of them, and they had to wait for some more cuttings to start. And I forgot to bring this in. But I know I bought one off of eBay, and hopefully it is the variety that the person said it was. I did put that in the ground, and I was just checking, and it has some buds on it. But now that I'm looking at it, I believe it even though it was off of eBay, it was from a nursery. I was kicking myself saying, how many times do I have to buy this variety before I get one to survive? And this is it here. And it's got some buds swelling, getting ready to break. So I really wanted this, so and you would think, well, I would then pay particular attention to taking care of it, but I didn't. This here is a cutting I started last year. I actually moved an air layer, not a cutting, an air layer, and then I had another shoot come up in the exact same spot, so I just let that sit over the winter, and it's coming up, so we'll see when I'll be able to remove that. And this is, what is this? I think this is Jolly Tiger. So hopefully I'll have a nice Jolly Tiger air layer there. This is sort of like panache. Got some striping on the bark. I cleaned up that second bed there, put in another row of the Oregon Giant Snow Peas. Only problem is now, one thing with raspberries, I like raspberries, but they just spread all over the place, and I don't want to dig them up. It's just filled with shoots coming up from the spreading raspberries. Don't know which variety that is, could be Ann. But looks like that bed is going to be filled with raspberry plants. So, this is New England gardening. Really sad tulips here. What could have been? This is why we can't have nice things. This is New England gardening. Thanks for watching. I think I might have falsely accused the squirrel. What the heck? I went right under the fence. It's a baby rabbit. Must be a space. I'll have to take care of that.